Critical arts.
What is up? So I want to make a very quick video for indie developers. this is this issue I'm going to talk about is something that I don't believe should be coming up. Granted, I've never ported a game from console to console. I've only made them for PC. The biggest performance issues I've ever seen was I made a game, somebody played it on a lower end laptop, and it was running slow. That's about as much as my literal experience goes with a game running bad or poorly. But I think I'm valid in what I'm finna say. So look, game designers, when you are making a game, shout out to Digital Foundry. I think about this all the time when I see their stuff. I'm gonna load up this project that I'm making. It looks like nothing right now, but trust me, it will here in the future. And by the way, for those who follow my channel, this isn't my game. This is a small project that I want to do and present it to a pretty prominent company. So look, this is Unreal Engine. Okay. Obviously, this is the world where stuff goes in. And you come in here and you put stuff in it, put different things in the world, and yada yada. Now, this world right here, this blocking out that I did from Blender, I'm going to put like rocks and stuff there. Okay. But a base game will start off something like this. It's called gray boxing. Now, it doesn't matter what this game is. The thing is, at this point in time in development, this is stage 1, right? This looks like nothing. You don't even know what this is. This is the time to start thinking about performance. This is the time to start thinking about what do you want the game on? Do you want it on Switch? Do you want it on Xbox Series X? Do you want it on the PlayStation Pro? Like, where do you want it at? Here is the time to start thinking about those things right now. Before you start adding things in, before you start throwing a bunch of grass and you got volumetric lighting and you got lumen on and all those things, you have to think base level right here. What am I going to do? How do I want this to look? And yes, throughout development, some things are going to change. But if you're conscious about frame rate, okay, if I start adding things to this world right here, right now, and the frame rate starts dropping, that's telling me that if this thing gets ported to the PlayStation or the Xbox, it's going to have probably double the issues. Okay? And then maybe not, because here's one thing. The PlayStation Pro, which I have, I can't show you, but I have the Pro right here. I got a PlayStation 5, right? I got the PlayStation Pro right here. Okay? I have a Nintendo Switch right here, too. The PlayStation Pro is a dedicated it's dedicated hardware to play games. Okay, so it's gonna run a little better than your PC because it ain't got a lot of different other applications that it's trying to do and security and a bunch of other junk. Okay, the resources is primarily for the games. It's dedicated to it, right? A PC is not, but this PlayStation Pro right now, according to the graphic specs, is more powerful than my PC. Okay, I have a 5700 XT in this computer. It's 2 generations behind, top of the line of 2 generations, and I haven't found really the need to upgrade it. There's one game that I'm going to mention that I have trouble with now, and that is I'm doing this live. That is No Rest for the Wicked, and Mega Break don't seem to be kind to my PC either. Okay, so I'm not dumb. It is behind. But what I'm saying is, if the game I'm making can run on this hardware, it should be able to run on a more powerful, dedicated hardware. Okay? So, and does it work one-to-one like that? No, it does not. No, it does not. But as of right now, literally, this graphical GPU that's in my PlayStation Pro is stronger than this. I do know that. Okay? So I'm conscious of all these things before I start throwing a bunch of stuff in the world, and I got grass here, and like again, grass here, volumetric fall, ambient occlusion, lumen, ray tracing, reflections on the wall, real time mirror reflections, NPCs out the wazoo. You got to be conscious of this stuff now, okay? Because I don't understand why you have a whole production team of people. Metal Gear Solid, Delta. They make the game. They have testers. If I was on the Metal Gear Solid Delta team and I got that on console, I would say y'all have to reduce the foliage. There's things going on in this world that don't have to be there. Like camera technology, when the camera ain't on it, then it's not rendered. Something. You know, because this looks bad. And you done bring back a franchise. What you're trying to bring back anyway, a franchise from that's very prominent in the gaming universe. And y'all let it come out like that? That's not been the only game. You know, sometimes you run into different. I know developers run into different problems or whatever, and it's unforeseen. You know, again, I'm not dumb to it. You know, this game I made called Connection. It ran on at least two. One guy played it and he tested it, ran fine, and again, it was ran on a laptop and it ran like trash. You know, and so I learned quickly like. You got to be careful about just like throwing everything on high settings and it runs on my thing, so it should run on everybody else's. No, I mean I might have something running fully on this at 60 FPS, and then I port it to the PlayStation Pro, and for some reason there's issues going on over here. So it's just like test this stuff, man. And I get it. You got this investor going on and money and but it just needs to change. Cause it don't make no sense. You know, like back in the day on PlayStation 2, I'm 7 minutes in. I didn't mean to go on this rant, but back in the day on PlayStation 2, like there was a handful of games that ran bad, but I guarantee you this. They knew what areas the games was gonna run bad in. Just like Ninja Gaiden, what was it? 2? I did not beat the game, but there's that infamous what does they call it, death hallway or something they call, because the game runs flawlessly until you get to that one hallway. But I guarantee you that the developers knew that hallway ran bad, and they thought, okay, do we reduce it, do we want to, because if we reduce the amount of enemies, then we kind of take away from the experience of this being like the death hallway actually. Do we do that, or would we just let it go? And I'm pretty sure Idiaki, I think is his name, sat there and looked at it and said, it's just this one area, right? We have a couple dips in some other areas, but it's just this one area, let it go. The same thing was Zone of Vendors 2. Zone of Vendors 2 ran bad at times. That game was running at a 30 FPS. By the way, you play that game in full 60 or 120, oh my God, is it beautiful. But back in the day on PlayStation 2, that game would run slow the moment you blew up an enemy. But the game looked so beautiful. I guarantee you, Hideo Kojima was just like, it's okay. It's all right. And you know what? Did it run slow? Is there frame drops? Yes, it is. But it was all right, because that is one of my favorite games. And then they hurry up and ported it to the PlayStation 3, and it was bad. It got ported back poorly. Another example, it got ported poorly. And they updated and redo it. And I think if I remember correctly, he wasn't responsible for that porting of that either. I think it was another team, and I don't know if it came back in house and they put it back out or what. But anyway, it got patched and they fixed it. Cause it was running like that on this hardware. Why is it running worse on this hardware? Like, care. Rushing things out, man, won't get you sales, man. So anyway, indie developers, the time to start thinking about frame rate and whatever your target is, which should be nothing less than 60. I don't know why this shouldn't be a single game coming out at 60 FPS. 60 FPS should be the standard, but do not just go ham making stuff and putting stuff together, and then wondering why the game run like trash on other people's consoles or on other people's systems. You make the game run best on what you got, optimize it, and if you're gonna be pushing some different graphic stuff and everything, you better be able to turn that stuff off for people like myself who don't have the latest and greatest hardware. All I'm saying, think about it beforehand. I'm a little passionate about it because 60 FPS and frame rate issues, it's like they should not be a thing. Especially when you have a whole team of people that plays this game and putting this thing together. Did nobody tell them that there's too much foliage there? Nobody. Nobody told them, hey man, the sun is bouncing off every single leaf. It's God raising through trees, and every time he shoot, the frame rate drops dramatically. Nobody said. Nobody before the game got done. 60 FPS for life, man. Let's go.
Get in there!